was enjoying that too much.
You and me both.
Anyway, guys, welcome to our first midweek show for a good couple of months, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, where we're going to discuss potential transfers for Arsenal this summer. But before we get into that, if you haven't done so, like and subscribe to our video and our channel. Follow us on all our social medias. Share it amongst yourself on there. And let everyone know what we're doing, if I get my words out correctly. So
You try
how are
again.
we doing tonight, Liam? You all right?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Looking forward to actually doing a show at long last from home.
Yeah. It has been a while. It's got to be May, easily May. So
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
But we've got a comment already from Stephen. Stephen, hi mate. I think that was from a bit earlier on, so he might not be on there. And here he is. I'll go on up to the straight up to top. Hit the like button and share the vid. That's from Brian. He's unfortunately not well because he had his jab yesterday, so he's very tired. Bless him.
Yes.
Very tired. Ain't we all though? To be fair. Right, we're going to go into the first of our potential transfers with one of my ones. I'm going to go into. We were linked with him last summer, which was upwards of 50. Was it 50 million? He was touted?
Give or take, yeah, at the time.
50 million. Apparently, it's gone down to 17 now. Around about, I've heard 17 to 20, maybe 25 at a stretch. Apparently, he's lost form. He doesn't want to play for Lyon much more. He wants to come to the Premier League, whether that be Arsenal. I've heard Liverpool are interested in him now. Spurs are going to try and hijack the deal potentially with Arsenal, just to basically do a Sol Campbell on us, but the other way around. But it's not the same sort of thing. But that's what they're looking at doing. A bit more detail on the player. He's more of a number 10 than an inverted winger. He got 7 goals last season in 30 games in the league. He didn't get many assists, only a couple of assists as well. He's not the player he was the season before when we was looking for him. He's a very versatile player as well. Swap for Laka. Who's that for? What, hour?
Interesting one.
Yeah, I'll get more info on that, Aaron, please, mate. So I've got 2 seconds. I've lost my page. But yeah, he's a versatile winger, he can play in like several positions. What worries me though is he's more of a attacking midfielder, not the partner that Partey needs. He's not got the strength or the toughness to be in that position. But I think we're absolutely desperate for that sort of player to partner Partey. But again, if it's going to be a number 8 role, he's got good passing, he's got technical ability, he's good at set pieces. He's a deep line playmaker. He could play it into the lines. For me though, I'm just worried about his adaptability to the Premier League. I don't know if he's capable of doing that. I mean, I don't know if because you was a bit iffy about him last summer, weren't you, Liam? You weren't so sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think the transition we're in, I don't know. I just feel maybe hard-working, honest Premier League players is what we need right now to get us back to a certain level, and then maybe sort of progress from there. Again, that's just my opinion. I just think that we're not in a position where we can take many risks as such. We're not Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea or City who've got such great players that they can afford to take 1 or 2 risks. We're in such a transition period that we need these players to pay off now. But that's, my opinion on the hour thing. Not saying, obviously, I wouldn't welcome him with open arms and, wish him all the best, obviously, if he does join, but that would be my only reservation mainly about it.
Well, for me, we're looking at his stats. He doesn't score enough from midfield for me, and we are absolutely crying out for a goal-scoring midfielder. I mean, Pepe's got potential from the wing, but when I look at probably the last goal-scoring midfielder that we had, obviously Sanchez, but he was still a forward in my eyes. We played through the middle. Ramsey, maybe?
Walcott,
yeah, but he was a winger from central midfield, though. Who would you say? Probably Ramsey.
Ramsey had that one good season, didn't he? That's the thing. If anything, we've never really had a massive goal scorer from centre midfield, but the wingers and the strikers have always scored so many.
Yeah.
That is the difference. You look at the big teams you've had, you had Lundberg and Perez both scored goals. You had Overmars who scored a ridiculous amount of goals.
It's mainly from the wings and forwards, but I would like to see that midfielder scoring goals again. I mean, like Fabregas, probably Nasri.
Good shout.
I mean, they've scored goals for fun from like central midfielder or attacking midfielder. We're absolutely crying out for it. For me, and in the French league, which is not as, I suppose, as tough, as the Premier League, he doesn't score goals in that. That's what really worries me about him. But people say he's 23 years old, and people say he's got a lot of time to grow and adapt. But
that's the problem. A lot of time to grow and adapt. We haven't really got that risk of buying someone in that's potentially going to. We need a lot of here and nows, And also, by the way, a lot of people are not forgetting that with if you actually look, don't quote me exactly, but I know for a fact it's definitely above 50%. Above 50% of them goals are penalties.
Yeah, it's with the last season he got 2 where he scored. I said 4 earlier. In the Premier League, the French league, should I say?
Only 4 he scored last season.
I think so. In the league,
Wow.
No, sorry, he scored 7. Sorry, my mistake.
Only 2 penalties.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I've read up here.
Maybe I've looked at all competitions then, but I know he scored a hell of a lot of penalties. But
I've heard that. But he scored 7.
Okay, fair enough.
He scored 1. He scored a total of 32 in 170 games for Lyon. I know he's young, but he's played, I don't know, over 150 games in the last 4 seasons. So, for me, I don't think that's enough. I mean, send me the like you slags. I think that's supposed to be Link.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows with Brian?
Yeah, he can never spell, to be fair. I want to go back to this one because Cazorla weren't really goal scoring. He was an absolute phenomenal midfielder. I do think we miss a player like that. Great with 2 feet. And,
again, that's the thing as well. It's not even all about sometimes bringing in a goal scorer. It's about someone that even just can create more chances for the strikers. And Cazorla could do that for fun because you couldn't mark Cazorla because you couldn't go, I'll show him his weak foot. You didn't have one.
Yeah.
So it was impossible to actually go up against him and defend against him because you had no idea what way he was going to turn.
But I think some people are actually comparing now to Cazorla, funnily enough, and I just don't think he's in that sort of class at the moment. Again, it's because he's so young. We could all be wrong. He could turn out to be an absolute brilliant signing for 70. I mean, I don't think there's much of a gamble at 17 million. But the way our transfer business is going, I mean, we'll probably end up paying 30-odd million for him. It's like that Sionchu deal. We would quote 35 million. He goes to Leicester for 19. I mean, it could be one of those deals. But I just don't know. For me, and also I've heard as well he goes missing in big games.
I did see that. I've seen that last. A lot of people have had their comments about that. Have mentioned that they're maybe not great when it comes to big. But again. Did he get many big games in France? Probably not.
Well, it's the Champions League where he really sort of shone. That's what they're saying. But like in the big games in the French league, when it really business end, he sort of drifted out, and he just didn't. You want the player to grab hold of the game, especially when you look at players like that, probably the best player in your team. He goes missing. So I'm not slagging our off. I mean, he has got his good parts. I mean, like I say, technical ability, he can find a pass from anywhere. He can thread it through an eye of a needle and stuff like that, and he can find a strike over the top. He's got good range of passing, and has got good close control, as we've mentioned. He can get away. He can keep the ball in a phone box. Basically, you wouldn't be able to get it off him, but it's not as good as Cazorla. But for me, I would rather pay out for a big name, but. I mean, I think, Liam, you'd agree with that. You'd rather pay the money, know you're getting quality rather than...
Yeah. Again, in certain positions, 100%. There's certain positions that are so key to bringing a marquee signing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. No, but we'll end it there with what do you guys think? Get your comments in. Would you think we should sign now, especially for 17, maybe up to 25? Is you a good fan, great fan of these? If so, get your comments in, and we'll show them and we'll discuss a bit more. But Liam, you've got your one here. This is sort of this guy here, James Maddison. Can you see us actually striking a deal with him, and would he suit Arsenal?
Yes and no. Basically, I mean, there's no doubting that the kid's, got great ability, very good player. I mean, last season, I think he played 31 games in the league, 24 he started, 7 off the bench, because obviously he missed 6-7 games through injury, and then was coming back slowly. And I think out of them 31 games, he managed to score 8 and get 5 assists, which 13 in 31 isn't terrible at all. A lot of people like to take away the sub appearances, so then it makes it 13 goal contributions in 24 games, which sounds great. My only concern, or 2 concerns with Maddison, is the way Arteta sets up his team with what he wants. I don't think that Maddison tracks back enough for Arteta. Arteta likes a player, or not as a player, sorry. He likes it to be very sort of fluid in the fact, like I think we've mentioned on numerous occasions, where when we're defending when we're attacking and then very quickly he defends, the holding midfielders will then cover as fullbacks, and the way it all links in, they all have to play their part offensively and defensively. And I don't think you get that from Maddison. Obviously, when you're buying an absolute elite player, and I mean elite player, you can let them get away with it a little bit, because what they don't do there, they make up for even more so going forward. Yeah. So I feel that he would have to adapt his game slightly and learn to be a bit more defensive if he joined Arsenal, because of the way it all links in together. The only other concern I have is if we do buy Maddison, Emil Smith-Rowe simply does not play as much as he did last season. Now, we know, regardless of what happens, we need a Cam to come in.
Yeah.
Now, I've been thinking over the last few days, is it a Cam to come in that's going to almost replace Smith-Rowe, and Smith-Rowe takes a back seat? Or do we actually decide to buy an understudy to Smith-Rowe? Because I think Maddison is 24. And, he scored, 13 goal contributions in 31 games. It's fantastic, no doubt. It's great. Smith-Rowe got 6 goal contributions in 20 games. So, obviously, if you work it out, it's not quite as good. But he's 4 years younger than Maddison. Maddison has now played 3 full seasons for Leicester's first team. And this is 3 full seasons. And a full season at Norwich the year before, where the best season that Smith-Rowe has had was last season. Sorry, not last season, but the season before at Huddersfield. He had 19 games. And then this season, or last season, he had 20 games for Arsenal. So he's actually not played a complete full season yet. Maddison's had 4 full seasons. And then when you go into...
Go on. Sorry, go on. No, go on. Sorry.
When you go into the deeper stats, I looked here that Maddison per game averages 0.9 dribbles a game. Smith-Rowe's on 0.5. Maddison,
you've read up on this, didn't you? Jesus Christ! The
key passes per game. Now, for me, this is the crucial one, because this is what their job is. Key pass per game. Maddison 1.6. Now that's a key pass. So that means, and the reason I think that stat is important, because it's not about assists, so it doesn't matter who you're supplying. This is about you. This is about you on the ball, regardless of who's around you. So Maddison plays 1.6 key passes a game. Smith-Rowe last season, 1.4. So he's only 0.2 off Maddison already, but he's 4 years younger. So I'm looking at that going, actually, do I want to hamper the development of Smith-Rowe and get someone like Maddison? Now,
I think it would push him. I reckon it would push Smith-Rowe to be better.
But then I think if we were to flip this and actually get someone like Ødegaard, who's 22, going to cost
I don't think he's good enough.
I think he can be. So again, you got to think the kid's 22. He's had 4 or 5 loan deals. The poor kid doesn't know. Like, it's all good. Oh yeah, I'm at Arsenal this season, but I don't know where I'm going to be next season. Or last season he was at Espanyol and doesn't know where he's going to be the following season. The poor lad doesn't know where he's going to be from season to season. That's not very easy to settle because you're not really settled because you have no idea where you're going to be in 6 months' time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think if he has a team that goes, no, we want you. You're our player. This is what we want from you. I think someone like Ødegaard could be the perfect understudy / level with Smith Rowe that they push each other on. Where I think if Maddison's playing, and we already know that Maddison's got a lot of, he has a bit of an attitude, shall we say. So if you drop him, then all of a sudden does he contaminate the players, or will you then say give in to him? Obviously, play him more. Bear in mind you're paying 60 million, so you've got to play him quite often, and then you have
to
development.
That's the thing.
And that's my only concern right now with Smith Rowe signing, with how much we love him, with how much he loves this club. I think maybe someone alongside Smith Rowe would be my preferred option than someone to go in above him.
See, I thought about this. If Mesut Ozil reached he's never like you say, he's never world class because he's consistency. He had world class ability, but he wasn't world class because consistency personally makes you world class. But if he was that player, he'd be the ideal, I suppose, mentor to Smith Rowe. If he was obviously still there, but if it's just a shame that's not happened.
Even if
I do feel like Maddison would push Smith Rowe. According to a lot of people, what they're going to do is put Partey on his own, and then again, it's a reservation for me about Maddison's defensive work. Like you said, I've got the same reservation. Basically, does he get back enough? Because they're saying Smith Rowe could be a number 10, and then Maddison can sort of drop further back, and then Partey behind them. But if Maddison's not going to do the defensive work, that's not going to work, is it?
So obviously, I suppose so. There. I've got 2 reservations. One, the defensive duties of Maddison are.
Thanks, Tracy. By the way.
And I don't know. I just think maybe look, we love our own players here at Arsenal. We love the Haaland boys. It'd just be a shame if it did hamper him. That's my opinion. I mean, Brian, now you're welcome. What do you think?
You've just turned up, Brian. Do you hear us?
I don't know if you can hear me or not. I'm having to use earbuds.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you not hear us?
I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Yeah.
No?
Yes.
Oh, okay, right.
God, you are still asleep, aren't you?
I'm not sure what's going on with his thing.
No. Oh, he's gone. Oh well, we'll try and get him back on.
Yeah, having a few technical issues, but yeah. So I don't want people to. By the way, if people are watching, I don't want people to think that that's it. I'm completely ruling out Maddison and I'm slagging him off and I'm pushing him away and stuff like that. Absolutely not. It's just Smith Rowe's got 4 years to learn, and I just think that you look at your Sakas. If we're building our team around Saka, who's 19, why would we not include Smith Rowe within that? And then maybe for me, as I said, I'd much rather go and get that marquee signing to be the centre mid next to Partey instead of replacing Smith Rowe. Maybe I'd rather go out and spend 6-70 million.
Rather have both.
Well, like for me, if it was the difference of having someone like Maddison or Grealish, then it's an absolute no-brainer. You get Grealish because he's that type of he's that next level. Do you know what I mean? He's for me, Jack Grealish is in what I'd almost class like the elite level. If you get someone like that available, you do it. Because Maddison's below it, that would be my only concern with Maddison over Smith Rowe, just because I think that we're loving what we're seeing with Smith Rowe. We know there's so much more to give. And I just think that it'd be such a shame almost to just ruin that from him. But again, that's
the thing is, then I still think Maddison takes the pressure off Smith Rowe because we're expecting so much from him, and knowing.
Then that's why you buy someone like Ødegaard, or you buy someone with him that then plays a lot. So obviously, i.e., you play Smith Rowe and you go, right, now this game you're rested. You're my main man, but now you're rested for a couple of games. Now you're back in the fray, right? We're winning the game. You can come off after 60, 70 minutes, 65 minutes, whatever. Now you get your time. So it's almost where if it's the other way around, Maddison's your main man, Smith Rowe's getting 20 minutes here, then a game here, then and I think that's just my concern. I just really think Smith Rowe, like if I'm asked right now, do I think if Smith Rowe played 25 games again next season and the season after and the season after and the season after, do I think he can get to Maddison's level or better at 24? My answer is yes. I think he can be better than Maddison is now when Smith Rowe's 24. And that's why I'm thinking more of an understudy alongside him than Mark, unless, as I said...
Wouldn't Auer be the perfect one with him then?
Maybe. He's 17 million. So surely he can't... He's not your marquee signing. He's 70 million. So maybe that could be absolutely perfect.
But it's adaptability, because Maddison could play in the Premier League where... Of
course.
Again, Maddison, Auer... it's got to adapt, but again, people could adapt straight away. I think.
As I said, look, if it's Jack Grealish, then it's not even a conversation. Jack Grealish is elite, and you get him in at all costs.
Yeah,
there's Maddison, who's probably maybe the bar below. I don't know. That's, as I said, that's my concern.
Yeah, that's fair. I can understand where you're coming from. I mean, it might stunt his growth, I suppose. Smith Rowe's growth.
Listen, I suppose we'd never know either way until it happens,
But again, it goes back to the conversation. Like I say, Maddison, personally, I don't think will be that player behind Smith Rowe with Partey. Like as you say, defensive work, not for me. I don't even think Smith Rowe could drop back and do the defensive work. He'd be better at Maddison than it. But
he does it a lot more than Maddison, 100%. A lot more than Maddison.
But for me... Oh, what's happening here? There's a lot of dings going on. All that. Right, can you hear us now, Brian?
I can hear you, but I don't know if you can...
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, good. Where the fuck did I get up to in that little rant that I had before?
I saw it.
We kept saying, yes, we can hear you. I mean, we're even doing that, and you just completely ignored us.
No, I saw that, but nothing. It blanked out and then cut me out of StreamYard.
Fair enough. Anyway, carry on, Brian. We'll let you crack on with your point.
So, Smith Rowe, what a lovely lad. No, I don't even know where you got me what I was saying, but
we heard none of it, if I'm honest, Brian. None of it.
Oh, good. In that case, Smith Rowe, he is my son. I will take 45% of the profits, and we'll see how it goes after that. But no, in all honesty, I think, as I've said for many moons, there's something special about him. Regardless of the number that he takes, it's irrelevant to me. I thought he was a great number 10. In my head, who gives a shit about what's on the back of your shirt, as in a number?
Yeah.
But, to be fair, I'm over pleased. I said it in the stream we done on Sunday. I feel proud because I've witnessed his, not upbringing and all that kind of shit, but, development through Hale End. And
You've been there since day one of his birth.
I have, mate, yeah. I was stroking his mother's forehead, like that.
You actually gave birth to him, Brian, didn't you?
I did, yeah, threw my arse up, and that's why he's a winner. But no, you just knew.
Fucking hell.
You've got countless games, and everyone has off games, everyone has injuries, all that kind of stuff. But it's hard to explain. I don't know, a lot of people might feel the same or not. But when you see someone who's got the talent, you hope and you wish, and you're like, go on, mate, you can do it. Take your opportunity, and I think he has. I mean, again, with the shirt number, it's irrelevant to me. He could be a number 6, an 8, a 10, a 12, a 32, whatever you want to be. As long as you're doing well for the club, that's what we appreciate as a fan base.
100%.
Doesn't matter if you are now in your new contract at number 10. I'm happy for him because of the fact that he is fucking good. Let's not lie about it. He's nowhere near his ceiling, let's be honest, or nowhere near as good as he can be. But at this point in time, it's up there, isn't it? It is up there.
So what would you say then about bringing in Maddison or not? What would you rather do? Would you rather bring in Maddison to potentially play more than Smith Rowe, or play Smith Rowe mainly and bring someone in as maybe an understudy or level with him?
There's no reason why you can't play Maddison and Smith Rowe in the same 11.
No, so no reason. Then you're chucking Smith Rowe out wide. It's not his natural position for me.
Well, it's not his natural position, but let's be fair. Without Maddison, he's been chucked out on the left a lot anyway.
Yeah, well, when Odegaard plays,
I want to see him there. I think a floating role for him is absolutely fantastic. I mean,
they're thinking of putting Maddison Smith Rowe as like basically 2 number 10s, and we're just party behind them. That's what another one. I heard a comment like that, and
I have heard that Arteta wants to base his team on a attacking,
not necessarily Maddison, but
a number 3, not number 3. Sorry, a back 3, and then having 7. We'll have to get my math right now. Having 7 kind of like options to go forward with. I'm not against that. I mean, when we were playing the back 3, we're going back to the cherished times of under Arteta, where the FA Cup and all this kind of stuff. When we've done Chelsea, we've done City, there was a back 3. I don't think over a whole season it's a good thing. I generally don't. But if you're going to play that kind of system where you can, when you've got the ball, be that free base, and if that gives opportunity for Maddison and Smith Rowe to be on the same pitch, I'm all in favour. I mean, I saw toxic Twitter, as we all know it, a lot of accounts saying, "Oh, why not throw Maddison out on the left and leave Smith Rowe in the middle?" I don't agree with it. I'm not being funny. Smith Rowe's best playing time, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is his best playing shit is when he's floating and he can go to the right, go to the left, stay in the middle, because he's always there to create something.
Do you remember when it was? I think it started against Leeds. This Odegaard, Smith Rowe, and Saka, and we were like, where the hell were they going to play? And they literally, I've said it countless times, they floated amongst themselves.
Yes,
they switched positions
like themselves all the time.
And it confused the hell out of Leeds. And I think we did the same with Leicester. I'm not sure if we did the same with Leicester with Willian and Pepe and all that. I mean, he seems to give them a free role, if you know what I mean, them 3 positions, like maybe swap wingers, maybe the central midfield goes out wide and then someone comes in the middle just to see what works. And if you've got Maddison, I suppose, Smith Rowe and, say, Saka, could that work?
Personally, I think yes. Obviously, football's a game of hindsight. Let's be honest. You know, we can all sit and go, "No, that won't work," or "Yes, it will work." Until it happens, no one in the world really knows. I think the front, well, say the front 3, but you know, like those 3 positions interchanging, it adds not only confusion for the opposite team's defence, but we all know that, say we had a Maddison, Smith Rowe and Saka playing in that, we're going to go with the 4-2-3-1, you know, in that respect. It's untold, you know, no one's going to foresee what they're going to do when they're doing this, which I think is fantastic when it comes to playing a game and you want to get
see what works.
Not even see what works, but just for the sake of it switches up so much.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
because no one really knows what's going to happen left, right, and in the middle.
I remember like Pepe, he started out on the left against Leicester, I think, and they put him out on the right because it weren't working. And he absolutely owned their left back. I can't remember his name. But then they had to he got booked and they had to take him off at half time because that was a definite weak spot of Leicester for that game. So I'm thinking if you do interchange that, and I do think it works, but again, you have to have the right players to do that. I mean, I think Smith Rowe and Saka can do it. It's just whether Maddison can, or even Auer could come in and do that. I personally don't think Auer could come in and do that. I still think he's an inverted winger he can play, but he's definitely better central. So for me, if you're going to do the interchange in those 3 positions to help the striker out as well, I don't think Auer suits that system. I think Maddison would suit that system, but I do agree with Liam's point of it will maybe stunt Smith Rowe's growth into the team. If he does play that, if he say no, your positions are here, that's it. But again, we do, like Aaron, I go back to here, it says we do need a here and now to get us back to where we belong. But that's another question, isn't it? So,
but that's the thing, though. I agree we do need here and now. But then I'd rather go, well, the centre mid is where I want to see a marquee signing. You know,
I'd like to see the Suma, personally, someone like that.
That's what I mean. That's the position where I want to see a marquee signing. A right back. I want to see an unbelievable right back come in. The Cam, we have a very good Cam that's 20 years of age. You know, because all of a sudden, if we go by Max Aarons, right? Look at it, right? So Max Aarons. Is Max Aarons a better right back than Smith Rowe is a Cam? No. They're probably maybe level or Smith Rowe slightly better. But people are happy with Max Aarons at his age that want to replace Smith Rowe. So actually, when you balance it, you go, hang on a minute. So as a fan base, we're happy with Max Aarons to be our right back, but yet we're saying we need to replace or potentially upgrade Smith Rowe. But why? No, it doesn't matter the age. If they're good enough, that's it. Max Aarons.
Don't want to replace Smith Rowe. I want a bit more competition for him.
I just think that Maddison, because of the amount you're paying for him, he has to play above him. And I think that's the only issue I have with it. You can't have a £60 million player on your bench constantly. We're not Chelsea. We're not Man City. We're not Man United.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I do, because I said I'll be a bit a hypocrite if I didn't, because I said Ben White, 50 million, when people say he's one for the future, he's got to play.
He has to play now. He's £50 million player. And this is Arteta signing. Again, taking out, Sleeper situation, that's irrelevant. This is an Arteta signing of 50 million. So Ben White, for me, has to be our main centre-half next season. Has to. He's the main man.
I don't want to put the price tag all on that price tag or whatever. I don't want to put all the pressure on him. But
you go, well, what's that about? He's what, 20 games and he's not played 18? So that's what I mean. That's where Maddison come in. Maddison has to play 28, 29 games, or like starting almost.
Do we need a winger?
I'd love to see a proper winger. Yeah, completely. No. I think we do.
I think it's down.
The only proper winger we've got is Pepe. The only proper winger we've got is Pepe. Williams shit. Martinelli's not a winger.
I think Saka can play there.
Okay, so I forgot too far. Okay, that's two wingers.
Yeah.
Well, two wingers, two positions. So who the fuck's...
Then you've got Aubameyang left, which don't work anymore.
But when it comes to out-and-out wingers, I mean, as in a position, not a striker playing in a position or a winger playing in a particular position. We've got Saka, Pepe, Aubameyang, Martinelli.
These are not out-and-out wingers, are they?
Well, no. Say Aubameyang, he's not a winger at all. He's a striker.
And neither's Martinelli.
Oh, he's a winger. No, he's not. He's a striker. He's never, ever, until he joined Arsenal, ever played a winger. Look at the records. The kid's a striker.
Yeah. Scores goals.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not being funny. Walcott scored goals from the fucking wing. Doesn't make him a goal scorer.
Yeah. He should have been.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, with the Sakas, the Pepes, the Willian, he can just get in the bin. He's a cunt. Martinelli, he is a striker. Then you go along the lines of, who else can you get in?
Glenn Elder, mate.
Who?
Glenn Elder. I think we should get him in.
Let's give a special mention to Glenn Elder right now.
He should come in.
For one,
it's
you played for Arsenal, so well done to you. Absolutely well done to you.
I don't think he
decided
was to the point where he's awful.
All right. Let me address this. I'm not going to lie. Right, I felt terrible when he replied. I felt awful. So for anyone who's watching now and hasn't seen it, I sent out a tweet last night, just a bit of fun, saying, who's the most random player that you can think of that's played for Arsenal. Now, I started it off with Kaba Diawara, who played for us in the 99 season. And a lot of people were saying, Lupoli. And again, I was then just replying with a stat that I remembered him, like something about Chris Ray. And I was like, scored a goal against Wolves to win the cup semi-final. Yep, remember him. Jason Crowe. Yep, got sent off in his debut. Stepanov's absolute donkey, one of the worst players to play for us. Andre Santos, an embarrassment. Sagan, technically he's invincible. So people giving their, players, and I was just giving back what I remember, like Bischoff again, blah, 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 blah. Then someone said Glenn Helder. Now, my reply was, the Dutchman that we had that wasn't very good. Now, obviously, I'm comparing that to the Dutchman we have had in regards to Overmars, Bergkamp, and Van Persie, who, in their own right, all three were world class. So maybe I was a bit harsh because I was maybe comparing him to them. But I said the Dutchman that wasn't.
Can I just step in? Can I step in? Yes, you were linking all of our. You've got the Overmars, you've got the Bergkamp, but then you didn't really think who would look at anything Arsenal's tweets.
Yeah, I must admit. Yeah. The fact that Glenn Helder wasn't obviously, mentioned. He wasn't on Twitter. No one added him in it. So I just simply said, the Dutchman that wasn't very good. And then about 2-3 hours later.
Is that not the best part though? Because he wasn't added or put in it, but he went, who the fuck's that?
Yeah. He replied simply saying, sorry, my friend, with hands like that. I'm not going to lie. I felt like an absolute I felt dreadful. So I'm thinking, I've got to try and salvage
I gave my all for the shirt or something like that, you said.
I just said, look, you was a better player than me. Let's not muck about it. And eBay said, yes, I know that, but you're also not wrong. He said, look, you're not wrong. I didn't give my best for Arsenal. I didn't show the Arsenal fans and players what I should have done and what I could have done. I was young.
Yeah, I've got the tweet here.
Yeah, go on.
I've got the tweet here.
Sit down, Liam.
A Dutchman we had who wasn't very good. And he replied, sorry, my friend. And you put, you're a much better player than me. And then he put, yes, no, but I still agree with you that I didn't. And he goes, yes, I know, but I still agree with you that I didn't show the Arsenal supporters what I could do, basically, how I should have played. I was young and stupid and didn't like being a professional. I regret that, but I love Arsenal and the Arsenal supporters. Greetings, Glenn. And
you know the worst thing about
Get him on the channel. Get him on the channel.
In both these tweets, he was just so nice.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I generally felt dreadful all day about that because I'm thinking, I've just mugged this geezer off and I don't even know him as a person. I've just said he wasn't a very good footballer. And in a way, for Arsenal, he wasn't very good. But fair play to him. He stuck to his guns and look
down there. Lily down there, she was she one that said Glenn Hilda.
There we go. Fair enough.
You are just a wanker.
You know what? The worst thing is all day. Charlie.
By the way, that is Liam's wife.
Yeah, yeah. She's been calling me a troll all bloody day. I felt
been going mental.
When you put in the chat that, oh my god, I feel dreadful, I'm just like, you fucking should.
Yeah, I didn't think for 1 second that he would actually.
Sorry, don't see. Now you made her feel guilty. Look, see, it wasn't that you. That's your opinion. I mean, he even agreed with you, Lee.
He agreed with me, but then that's why. All I said to him, look. As an apology from me, how about, come on our channel, help us out. But also, if that's the case, explain your time at Arsenal, the highs and the lows, and explain where it went wrong and why it went wrong.
Well, if you're watching, Glenn, please come back. We need a left winger.
I'm sorry, but all I can sit there and think is no one ever in this world would believe that an ex-Arsenal player basically saw a tweet from this channel. And then that one time, Liam does this. Bosh.
I'm waiting for Ian Selly to come back on his one because he's followed us, isn't he? So he might come back yet. So he might tell you.
Come on, Ian. Get on this channel. Have a chat with us. Come on.
Honestly, I just couldn't believe it. I just felt awful. But anyway, back to Champion Focus.
But I would like a left winger. But do you reckon it's top priority or bottom?
Well, do you know what? Didn't you actually say last season? Actually, we didn't mind Pepe on the left wing, and actually he looked decent there when he played. Because especially Pepe, he's very good at cutting in, and we know he's got a bit of a ping on him.
So she's still like, I was what the fuck with Glenn Hilda.
It's one of them. I mean, you've got Saka, which is predominantly a left winger. You've got Pepe, predominantly a right winger, but they both seem to play a lot better on the other side. And I mean, the pre-season, Pepe played right wing, and he looked back to his. I say back to his best, but he looked pretty sharp on form. But when you go back to, let's look at Premier League form, Pepe's got to be on the left, in my opinion. I don't know why, but he has that, because he can cut in, put it on his decent
wings
foot.
with Saka? Swap, like they did with Perez and Lundberg. I'd swap,
Yeah.
like I say.
Yeah,
If it doesn't work, swap.
Yeah.
So, because Pepe, like I say, against Leicester, down the right side, he probably the best player that day with Willian. So he can do it on the right-hand side. But, like you say, I mean, if you're going to get crosses in the box, I do think the strongest foot, you should be on that side, personally.
Yeah.
But, again, I mean, do you reckon the winger will be the least priority this summer? Or do you reckon he would actually get one in?
No, I do think
I
do think it's right at the bottom, because obviously we have got wingers. But again, you know, Saka, he's not someone you want to hamper his development either. And Pepe, I really think that this really is his season. I really, really do now.
Yeah, he finished the season strong, didn't he?
Very strong. I think the way, maybe we were very hot, maybe, again, a very big maybe, the way Arteta managed him last season, maybe actually was what he needed in a way. You know, sort of that little, you know, I'm releasing you a little bit. No, pulling you back a little bit. Now go again. No. And just maybe it was like, right, now you're showing me what you can do. Because now I'm almost giving you that kick up the arse to go, you're not playing every week. Look what Saka's doing. There's a reason he's playing week in, week out. And I don't know, maybe it was. Maybe he got that fire in his belly that he sort of needed. And there's no doubting he ended the season unbelievably for Arsenal. Unless we can kick on and show it again next season. You know, we need his goals, especially if Aubameyang's going to be drying up again. So,
but
we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see Pepe next season, especially with Saka's going to just keep going and going. Smith Rowe's going to grow. So it is exciting for Arsenal with the youngsters. And like you say, Pepe finishing strong. But we're getting to the more defensive side of this. And Brian, because in your Awaken now on the channel,
I'm here, just about.
You can go into your main. You got to put more than he's better than Bellerin. Get him in. So
is that it? Sorry, I thought that was a winner.
No, but Max Aarons.
I've done a bit of research. You know, a bit of a couple of seasons ago. Completely fucked up where I put it on the piece of paper. So I've had to do arrows like this, and you know, oh fuck, what's going on?
Arrows.
I will say this: looking at it in depth now, from the stats that he's got up until now over the last 3 seasons, it looked like he's got worse. But right, bear with me, it gets better.
Well, you ain't selling it.
So I look at the 2018-2019 season when he was in the Championship. Right, literally, it's all there. Wrote this shit down. It's all good. Right. You look at it. 41 games played.
Incoming.
Hang on.
From
You're going to have to bear for some reason. So 41 games played in the 2018-19 season. 2 goals, 6 assists. He had a pass accuracy of 80.7, so let's go with higher than average. So 81% pass succession. And as an average on that whole season, 0.6 aerial duels won. And I'm now getting knocked out of the window. Bear with me. Cover me. Say something. Liam, insult him again. Go.
No, I'm not doing it.
Basically, you sound like what they're reading off the scorecard on a Saturday afternoon, Brian. But what would he bring, Max Aarons, for you? Would he bring pace, better defensive qualities than we've got at right back at the moment?
It's hard to judge again because obviously, I suppose a bit like, you know, let's liken him to Buendia in the sense of he only had 1 season in the Premier League. Obviously, they got relegated, so it's always hard to judge on that. Norwich, the 2 seasons they've been in the Championship, they've been promoted both seasons, so obviously they can look better than maybe what they are. It's a tough one because obviously if you want to go defensive last season and goals conceded, it's going to be low. If you want to go goals conceded the season before that in the Premier League, it's going to be higher. there's no doubting though that again, this is another kid that's got immense ability, fantastic potential. But again, this is what makes me laugh. People are saying about, we can't keep buying this. We need to buy for the here and now. But is Max Aarons really the here and now? In the sense of, is he really the finished article? Now, for me, he's a great prospect, and I think fantastic. But again, people keep saying, and again, I can only liken it to Smith Rowe. Why are people on the fence? Again, I'm not saying everyone is, but some people on the fence about Smith Rowe and do we get Maddison actually, or do we stick Smith Rowe? But no one seems to be going, I don't think Max Aarons. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so why is Max Aarons okay at his age to be our main right back, but Smith Rowe might not be okay at his age for a Cam?
Personally, I wanted a more experienced centre back. And now looking at it, I wanted a more experienced right back now, because I'm looking at it. Who's the leader in that back four, back five? Who is it? For me, I don't know who it is.
Well, Tierney, obviously. Tierney, isn't it? Tierney, again, when fit and when plays.
But if he plays, if he plays half the games again this season.
If not, I mean, I don't know next season. Is it for me, Ben White and Gabriel are your two centre halves next season? Has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be Ben White and Gabriel.
100%.
He likes the right and left. We've established this. He likes the right and left.
I would have gone for Mounier. Was it Hakimi? Hakimi is only 22 himself, isn't he, or something like that? So people saying
actually, he was a lot of money for a fullback. A lot of money.
He's like
PSG. Though, I mean, mate, once PSG comes sniffing,
22.
Mate, once PSG comes sniffing around, just give up, because you're never gonna beat them for money, are you? Absolute waste.
It's like the Super League again. This is what they were saying the other day. It's exactly the same. Like Man City going to go and pay 160 million for Kane. You might as well just keep the Super League going.
The only way it again becomes fair is if they do sell Bernardo Silva or Mahrez or Sterling. You know, if they sell two of them free, then you're talking maybe sort of 60, or 60, 70 million back maybe. Then effectively, I've only spent 90 million on Harry Kane.
I would have got Mounier in personally, because I think he's I think he's at PSG, isn't he?
Mounier, yeah.
So with Hakimi gone there now,
well, he's going to be the number one right back, isn't he? Of course.
Wouldn't you go and look at Mounier? Think he's 29 now. He'd be 30 in September.
This is the thing. So I'd rather go, and again, it might sound ridiculous, but I'd rather go
Borussia Dortmund now.
Big money. There you go. But then big money on someone like Mounier and Max Aarons. So you get Max Aarons in now before anyone else takes him, but he's not your number one because he's still got a couple of years to learn. Then you learn off Mounier for a couple of years, and now you go, right now, Max Aarons, you've been here 2 years. Now you're ready for this stage. And I think that's what people have got to realise, that just because it's like Tariq Lamptey. If we were Tariq Lamptey, is he literally here and now? No. He's still got a lot of learning to do. Like, I want to stick with Smith Rowe. I want to stick with Saka. So the other players that come in around that need to be here and now. You can't have a complete team of youngsters. Ben White, 50 million, not quite the completed article, but he's obviously a lot further ahead than, say, Max Aarons or Lamptey. So we need some players with these youngsters to help them bed in. So someone like, an experienced fullback and someone like Max Aarons, for me, would be ideal, because we know Max Aarons can be class. I just don't think it's right now. But what would he bring, though, Brian, for you? Because you're a big fan of him. What would he bring to Arsenal as a player? Would he, obviously, you're going to say he's better than Bellerin.
Clearly.
Everyone is.
Excuse me. After Saturday, I am a better right back than Bellerin.
I've seen that was a great cross.
In that video. It was a great cross, Liam.
That was a great cross. Fantastic cross.
I've done a bit of the old system of win and bin for Max Aarons, to be honest.
Win and bin.
Obviously, there's 2 years of which I'm not going to bother going into at the moment, but the good parts that he can bring is short passing. I mean, it sounds a bit shit, but he's short passing. For a right back, he loves a 1-2, like pass it, move, receive it.
Because he's got the pace to go almost.
It is. It's one of them. The short passing, I think, is again. It's not looking at the grand scheme of plan, but he will knock it to you, and he will make a run to give a bit of space, open it up a bit to receive the ball, which personally I think is, as a right back, somewhat dangerous. Let's be honest. I've all we've grown up as aged Arsenal fans, where the fullback's got the ball,
Thanks, mate.
just fucking kick it, off you go. Like get it up the field. But I like the fact that he tries to do the one touch, move, take it, then progress forward. It's one of those things I actually rate. That you got the modern day fullback or all that kind of bullshit that you want to throw onto it, like you're definitely here and now with the style you play. I like the fact that he is one touch in that particular possession. He can dribble at someone. He can run at someone. I think that's good. Again, pace. He's got the pace. What I don't like about him is, let's say, long ball accuracy. As soon as it's out of his feet, it seems a bit. Say, for instance, you're a Bella Bin, and you're hitting it down the right wing, and you're expecting to see Saka there, but it just veers. It's not a complete pass. You know what I mean? He does his best, and it should go to where he wants it to, but it doesn't. That's one thing that I believe Aarons can definitely improve on, is his long ball accuracy. Let's be honest.
That's why I've said about giving someone else the experience, because then he can learn that, can't he? Hopefully.
Maybe so, but again, it's one of them. You'd think, because he likes to dribble and go at a player, and he has done countless times, get to the byline. I think he's a better defender than he is a full, a right fucking wing back. Sorry, he's a way better defender than he is a wing back all day long. And when you look at, we need a back four, we need we need a right back, a backup left back, and all that kind of shit. I believe Max Aarons is the way to go forward, because he is, as a word, a defender.
Very true.
Brian,
sorry, I just need to quit his button. Unfortunately, I've got to shoot, guys. So I've got to shoot out 9.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us. We'll
worries,
be
guys.
on soon. Cheers,
yeah,
mate.
I mean, I won't be a Sunday, unfortunately. I'm up in Liverpool visiting family, so I won't be on Sunday. But the following Sunday, I'm there. All right, guys?
Yeah, no worries, mate.
All good, mate.
All the best. Take care, guys. Take care.
Cheers.
So the worst part is my battery's about to die as well.
Yeah, so basically, he can get up and down the pitch. He's a good crosser of the ball for me. He's got pace. Yeah. He's only going to get better. He's better what we've got at the moment. But the trouble is, we've got 3 right backs at the moment. We need to get rid of at least 2 of them to get him in. So whether this deal is going to happen or not is, for me, I don't think it will, because we have 3 right backs. So
that's what worries me. I mean, the fact that Ben White comes in, and yes, he's a centre back, but he has been known to play at right back. That takes the chances of signing Max Aarons off the cards, in my opinion. More annoying, because I believe Max Aarons would be a great, as a back 4, when you've got Max Aarons, if we're going to have a Ben White, a Gabriel, and a Tierney, you've got a back 4 which is going to last 8 years, 10 years, obviously, if all goes well, and there's no contract disputes and all this kind of bullshit, but you've got a back 4 which is a good 8 to 10 years in your future, and has the level of going up and up.
Oh, you've gone sideways, mate.
My phone's died. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My phone.
That's all right, mate. We'll wrap it up there anyway. But guys, we'll wrap it up there, because he's had a bit of technical difficulties, I can't even say. But guys, thanks for joining us for tonight. But it's going to be a big week for Arsenal this week, because we've been Ben White. I can't even speak anymore. Ben White going to hopefully join us this week. Apparently, he's got his medical tomorrow, so it's going to be a big week for us at Arsenal. Hopefully, we get a couple more over the line. Maybe James Maddison, you don't know, but we'll keep you updated. We go throughout the week, and we'll let you know on social media. If we're going to do a video as well, we'll let you know, guys know as well. But if If you haven't done so already, like and subscribe to our channel. Video, get it amongst yourselves on social media, share amongst yourselves, like on Facebook as well if you haven't done so far. And we will see you soon